Island boy.
Welcome to a brand new episode of the Real Life Podcast, a member of the Nation Network of Podcasts and delivered by DoorDash.
Welcome to Real Life, everyone.
What is going on right now?
I think that I'm in love with Matthew Tkachuk.
Are you guys all drunk?
Welcome in. This is episode 323 of the Real Life Podcast. Hope you all enjoyed Jay saying Island Boy as the episode started. Good work, Jay.
Well, it's if anyone's paying attention to social media, it's all the rage.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Well, it's these two guys
Yeah.
with interesting hair and a lot of tattoos on their face, sitting in what I think is a hot tub, singing the song Island Boy.
Oh, those dudes! I saw that on Instagram.
Do you even have a phone? Like, do you have social media? Like, you saw it. The Island Boys.
Yeah, I did see it. Now I know what Jay was talking about.
It
didn't sink in for me though.
It's because I didn't go deep enough with the accent.
I don't think you can.
Podcast is presented by the HGA Group. Jay, how great is the HGA Group?
I'm working with HGA Law with something right now, which is all positive, not for the bad reasons.
Nice.
They're helping me out with, I guess we'll call a transfer of something. And they've been very helpful. And they have not made this stressful for me, which is always nice. So thank you, HGA, for being so professional. And I'm also, we're doing a lot. We're doing a lot. If I must be fully aware or transparent, they're taken over all of the accounting for us for Oodle Noodle Franchise Corp. And that's been very nice. It's very exciting.
That's great. The HGA Group has so many different services to help your business get better.
Well,
They enjoy the memes at Oodle Noodle, especially.
Oh, yeah, big meme fans.
Yep.
I like the memes.
Memes are good. And the other thing, and maybe we should play it somewhere at some point, but I'm getting a lot of love for the Trollololo Oodle Noodle jingle.
I like to mix it in on Twitter every now and then to get the reactions.
Thank you. Yeah, it's funny because we got it playing on a few stations, and there's one that in particular, I'll just go and say Now Radio. They get a lot of interesting engagement and reaction from it, so I think it means it's working.
No, he's not working. Tyler.
Oh, weird. Yeah. Tyler just walked away entirely. Show just
No. Producer Liam forgot his keys in here. I'm just helping out.
The producer transition, as we like to say.
Superior Tyler.
Better Tyler.
Sure. Yeah, why not? I was going to invite him into the episode, actually.
Oh, okay.
There were so many people buzzing in the office. Then there's just three of us.
Office is buzzing.
This is the most people I've seen in here so far.
It's kind of got some life. I can't wait to kind of get it fully activated. You know what I mean?
I was talking to news director Zach Lang just before we started about, hey, I want to come to the office. What's doing? And it's nice to see it all come together. It's coming along.
It's really good.
Chairs are showing up. People are here.
Chairs are showing up?
I don't know.
Well, I'm sitting in a chair right now.
Yeah.
We are ordering some more chairs.
Sales guy Jared said new chairs and a bunch of TVs.
And
And maybe an emulator if Wanya has his way.
Mm-hmm. And a fridge.
We already got a fridge.
No, we're getting
two
a
fridges.
bigger one.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, there's a fridge going in the corner. Apparently.
We're going to be more furniture than we are people.
Yes.
That'd be
but
great.
at least that fridge will be filled with Nation beer, which is very important for the hydration of the
It's very on brand that we have a fridge full of Nation beer, which, you know what, we haven't been talking about lately. People need to remember how delicious and crushable Nation beer is.
I enjoyed one last night. It was lovely.
Yeah, no, I had a few last week and it was good, but I won't be having a few for a while because I did make true on my promise about my alcohol consumption of that football game.
How was Nashville?
Nashville, it can be summed up quite easily in one word. It's a hoot. Nashville is an absolute hoot.
You said on the Monday episode of Real Life that your beers per quarter, what did he say again?
2 beers per quarter or 3?
2 to 3. Yeah. Well, so
I think you said 3 to 4.
Well, you get like these big old beers. It was I was excited. Like I took it easy the night before for the game day, just so I could be ready and primed. And the interesting thing, this is why I like teams like the Browns and the Bills. It's like I said, it is about the team, but it's also about the fans. Mm-hmm. And man, does Bills Mafia travel.
Oh, yeah.
They fucking travel. The building must have been 50% Bills fans. Broadway, which is like the big bar street that in Nashville with all the honky tonk bars, it was all Bills fans. All Bills fans for like 4 days. We went to we did a road trip up to Louisville, Kentucky, on Friday, I think.
That's cool. I saw some pictures.
It was cool. Yeah, I went to the Louisville Slugger factory as a kid. My very first bat was Louisville Slugger, so that was kind of cool, and to go through that and see like they're making like actively making Vladdy Guerrero bats while I was there, which is kind of cool. But also the bourbon distilleries and all that stuff. Louisville's a vibe. I want to go back and spend some more time there. But it was on the way home, the highway from Louisville to Nashville, just Bills fans. All
like on the side of the road?
Driving down. Driving down. So you could tell it was them because the cars would just be like, their suspension was leaned back because the car was packed. So full of people and so full of stuff for tailgate. Like coolers, like coming out of their hitches, like attached to their hitch, like a Thule. Oh, it was it was good to see. It was good to see. But the one interesting thing, sorry, I'm going to get a rant. I did go to a hockey game. I went to their home opener against the Seattle Kraken.
Yep.
And we were sitting with Preds fans, and there was one in particular that was sitting like kind of 2 people down from me. He was just so into the game. So we kind of started chatting because like the one thing Nashville has is they have really good fan culture, right? For inside the building, they got chants for everything, chants for power plays, goals, ref chants, everything. And we walked through. Like I'm like, tell me how this came to be. How did this happen? And he's like, it can all be attributed to Section 303, which they have a sign up there they put up that's called Cell Block 303. Mm-hmm. And that is the rowdy pulse of the fan inside that building. And they are the ones that created and started all of the chants that you hear in the building today.
So just to interrupt, though. So the Predators are actually embracing this, though?
Oh, yeah.
It's not just like there's no ushers telling them to quiet down.
No ushers. Yeah. Well,
gotcha.
Really?
Well, and they're chirping goalies and they're chirping refs. Like they're getting after it. And so, like I said, they got a chant for everything. And it comes from this devoted group in Section 303. That's the rowdy group. That's their gallery that we used to have in the old building.
The gallery.
And it was kind of interesting to hear that. So it was good to kind of see. It was sad to see Adam Larson in a Kraken jersey. But I could visibly tell that Kraken were out hustling and out working the Preds. So the minute that Preds were up 1-0, I live bet Seattle to win. That was very juicy and lovely. And saw a fan fight directly across from me. So that was exciting.
And we can't interact with each other in groups. This is what I'm deciding.
We forgot how to coexist.
Yes.
There was almost a scrap at the Oilers game that I saw.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a section over from me, and I had a buddy sitting in that section. And there was a guy, I guess, sitting with his, I think the way the story went was there was a guy sitting with his daughter and his wife, and a guy behind them was a little drunk and spilt some beer on the people in front of them. And I guess he was very apologetic and was like, oh my God, but he was clearly drunk and rowdy the whole game as well. But was like, I'm so sorry. Like, I'll go run and get you napkins, blah, blah, blah. And I guess the guy in front of him turned around, had none of it, and spat on the dude behind him.
Ooh.
No.
Bad move.
That's uncalled for.
That's grease. And yeah, they were like at ends, and then they both calmed down. No fists were thrown.
I feel like the spitting is uncalled for no matter what the situation is.
Yeah, like if you want shit to escalate, swing. Don't spit.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
I think it's kind of a coward
is
play.
Way more disrespectful than throwing a punch.
And I would also say if the guy's being very apologetic about spilling his beer on you, the spitting is extremely uncalled for.
Yeah, like the guy's having a good time at the game. He spilled a little bit.
Hey man, I've had beer spilled on me. It's part of the ambiance, if you will.
That's the risk you take when you go inside, an active fan war zone.
It's the price you pay.
Mm-hmm. But not in Edmonton.
No, I guess not.
Everything's always hush hush.
I
Actually, I always say the crowds have been good. Crowds have been good early.
I'd imagine in Section 303, they're spilling beers on each other on the regular.
For fun, on purpose.
They're embracing it.
Yep.
Oh man, yeah. So like we need our Section 303. The rest will follow if we have a section worth of people trying to create the vibe. It's doable.
Would love to see it. Really would.
I would too. I was watching.
I think Edmonton, Canada in general is just a little bit too hockey snobby for it.
I don't think we are. I think we need leaders to show us the way.
Yeah, I agree. We never had it. Like, yeah, the gallery was rough and rowdy, but it's because you could get, like, college students could afford to sit in the gallery.
Yeah.
Like, college students can't afford to go to an Oiler game. Spend $100 and then $100 on
point.
booze. Like, that's tough. Like, you need that young, like, and they used to do it at Elks games.
Yeah.
They used to have the college corner.
Yeah.
Where the tickets were like $5 and you'd show up and like there'd be like all the different schools and like it was a
scene.
vibe.
Yeah, it was a scene. The Oilers don't have a scene.
And the other thing is right now, they have no excuse at this moment not to do it because you look in the upper bowl, there's at least a section worth of seats empty.
Yeah, that I look at it, I call it the should be nation section.
I think if there was a nation section, we could show people the way for chants, chirps, all of it. But the Oilers would have to embrace it. If the Predators are embracing it and encouraging fans in 303 to get a little bit rowdy, then the Oilers need to also do that. Because I've been to games where people are getting rowdy in my section and been told to sit down or quiet down or whatever. Like, no, man. It's a sporting event. I want to get a little bit weird.
Like, you don't have to chant obscenities. I get that.
No.
But
We're
you
not
can have
talking about that.
very well-crafted, witty, cut to the core chants.
Sure. Or even just chirping the other goalie, chanting his name. Always a classic.
They go on this rant where they keep telling the goalie, you suck, it's all your fault.
It's hilarious.
Like, it's hilarious, but like, and like, think about how simple that is. Like, why can't we, as like a group of 18,000 people, call like Ryan Kessler a bum?
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
I remember in that playoff series, the section I was sitting in for whatever game it was against the Ducks, it was like the Let's Go Oilers, and it was fuck you, Kessler.
Yeah.
That was great.
Well, yeah.
Probably don't need to drop an F-bomb.
And that's, yeah, and omit it. I'll happily omit it, even though I do subscribe to a lot of F-bombs. My F-bombs per 60 are pretty high.
Well, that's just how people talk. I think it's funny how people pretend that's not how adults speak.
Yeah, that too.
You slip in a fuck every now and then, it happens.
Man. I know I do it more than most, I think, but I don't know.
How about that Oilers game the other day, though? Hoo-wee. That was a barn burner.
If you like goals,
Ducks.
If you like goals, that one was for you.
I landed and caught the third period. Also live bet to come back once I realized
So
we
did
were holding the we were holding the possession farm down in the third, but we didn't look like we were moving too well. I have my theory, and rightfully so. If we're rolling, boys, celebrate. Is I think after Saturday's win, the boys might have got after it a bit. And they're a little sluggish to start, and that's fine. We're just so talented. We're so talented that we can be that sluggish and still pull off like a 6-5 barn burner like we did.
It was just a little sloppy.
Yeah, it was sloppy.
Yeah. Mike Smith didn't have a great night. Then he got hurt.
didn't.
Miko was great.
Do we know what happened to him?
I think it's his knee. So, like, where I was sitting, I had, like, a pretty good view of it, and he kind of slid across, and right when the whistle went, like, he kind of did his little, like, curl up and, like, ooh, like something tightened up on him. And, I mean, knowing Mike Smith, he'll do that sometimes just because he's trying to draw a penalty, right?
Yeah.
So I didn't really think much of it, and then I like blinked. I was like, "Holy shit, the big man's in net! Like 19's there now." But yeah, Koskinen was good, and with Smith, I mean, it'll be a week or two. But this is the concern with the goalie. He's almost 40, right? Is that he's going to get banged up a bit? And we said coming into the year, Koskinen's going to have to be better than he was last year. So here is test numero uno.
Also, it's a test to see what the Oilers have in Stuart Skinner as well. Like, I don't know if he's going to play back-to-back. You'd think he might, but they might just play Miko back-to-back.
If they were going to play Skinner, they would have played him tonight.
That's
right?
what I would have done.
Yeah, which is interesting. Like Miko, like you can't put a lot. Well, and who knows? We might have a new Miko on our hands because last year was heavy, and we can't base his. We can't use last season to kind of come to judgment. We can use the season before for sure. So I'm giving him a pseudo pass. We'll say. But we also know he's a guy that can't handle like a large workload either. So like going back to back, like that's a big deal. But having said that, this could be calculated because we're playing the Arizona Coyotes.
Coyotes tonight,
Who
Vegas
suck.
tomorrow, and then they have 5 days off, it looks like.
Yeah, and Vegas is banged up. Like they got two key guys
Mark
out.
Stone's
But
out, Pacioretty's out.
I think Martinez might be out too for tomorrow.
yeah, like the one thing we need to start doing is stop allowing so many freaking shots.
Yeah, there's a lot
Like,
of
and that's
shots
what I'm
coming
saying. Like, that's actually the concerning part is in game one, they blew a third period lead, sloppy. Second game, they gave up almost 50 shots to Calgary, sloppy. Third game, they gave up 5 goals to the Ducks, sloppy. Like, it's been 3 kind of sloppy victories, and I get it. Like, I saw Gregor's piece, and I talked about it on the pregame show. Sloppy win is better than a loss. Like, I get it. But you know what's better than a sloppy win? A dominant win.
Well, that'll be tonight. My game, my score prediction 6-1 Oilers.
But then even tonight, let's say they go and dominate. Like you're dominating Arizona.
Yeah, exactly. I know.
But you have to dominate Arizona.
But yeah, you better.
This is a game you have to. I don't like. I was talking about it on the B-cast after the win against the Ducks, and I'm kind of the opinion as long as you win, fine. You know what I mean? But if you're sloppy and you lose to a team that you should beat, like if they had lost to the Ducks, like that's disappointing because that's a team you should beat 9 times out of 10. Same with Arizona. If they're sloppy and they win, okay, they're working out the kinks. It's early in the season. There's rust and all that. But like if you lose, it's no good.
No,
got to dial it in.
No bueno. The Ducks defenseman who scored on himself on the Evan Bouchard goal, Josh Mahura, we were in the same grade 2 class.
Well, Evan Bouchard has got such a bomb that he scores from the corner even when nobody's expecting it.
With one hand.
One hand. Just waved
He
his
had a
magic
great
wand.
game. He was their best defenseman.
How about Bouch we're 3 games in, already climbing the ranks?
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's good, and that's what we. That's what we need. Like we needed that.
It's not good because he shouldn't have to do it if Tyson Barrie wasn't a fucking tire fire.
Yeah, but we know
he rode the pine a little bit in the third period.
We know defensively Barrie isn't that good,
but I don't even. Like we know he sucks, but like that still is not okay.
He was a bit of a slow starter last year too.
He was.
Yeah, this just could be his brand. We'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see.
I'm already scouring Puckpedia to see who could be available at the deadline. This team needs a defenseman bad.
I'll tell you what this team
Real
needs.
bad.
I will tell you what this team needs, and I don't know if it's been talked about, but we need to be tougher. We're not tough enough.
That was Chalmers' rant.
Yeah, that was Chalmers' rant the other day.
Monday.
I don't buy it.
Yeah.
What are they? What's not tough about them? Like against Calgary, Calgary was the tougher team. They lost 5-2. I don't care. What is the Oilers have had? Quote unquote tougher lineups in the past.
Calgary sucks.
Yeah, the Oilers are really good.
So let's play like the Caps, or let's play the Bees, or let's play like.
So you're seeing a scenario where like a Tom Wilson type kind of runs around and does.
I'm just well, like
you have Cassian and Nurse, and like you're fine.
Well, you don't want Nurse fighting.
How?
Right?
How?
And he's not a good hitter.
There's never fights in the playoffs.
Okay, but you don't want Nurse fighting, and this is now regular season.
Okay.
And he's not the greatest hitter. He's not a good hitter.
But he'll break up a cycle.
Yeah, he's a good defenseman.
But then why do you care how he breaks up a cycle if he breaks up a cycle?
But I'm not talking we need to be tougher to break cycles. The other team needs to know they're playing the Edmonton Oilers in terms of not necessarily on the score sheet. They need to feel it. And
Why?
I don't think we're tough enough. Because that's how you win a Stanley Cup, Tyler.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. It's not out offense. It's grinding down the other team, having a hot goalie.
And they have guys that can do that. Grinding teams down has nothing to do with like laying a big open ice check.
In playoffs, it does.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does. You need to have a deterrent. The team needs. Other teams can't feel safe having their head down.
They're not going to feel safe when Connor McDavid's coming at them 100 miles a minute.
But that's one component to the game of hockey, and that's one component. And I would say team toughness in the playoffs is more important than super high skill.
I think the Oilers have enough to be that team come playoff time. Like I don't think it's an issue. Like
From where? Where are you going to see it?
Cassian's going to be running around.
One guy.
Yamamoto forechecks hard. Puljujärvi forechecks hard. Zach Hyman forechecks real hard.
Yeah. So Hyman's been nice. Puljujärvi will create stink, but it stink and then a reaction, but he's away. No one's afraid of Puljujärvi. No one's afraid of Yamamoto.
No one's afraid of anyone. It's the NHL.
Are you? Well, I have a feeling.
Maybe like Ryan Reeves. Like, okay.
I have a feeling you're probably, if Cassian's in full Cassian mode, and you're the opposing team, you're probably keeping your head up, and you're probably maybe rushing a play because you know Zach's on the ice. And it's those little things, those little added deterrents that create more time and space for your skilled people. And also, if the game gets heated and things get pushed around, like there was a lot of scrums in that Calgary game. And I'm like, where's the guy jumping in? Where's the guy? Because it's Connor, it's Leon on the ice. And I don't expect them to. I'm like, where is all this? Like standing up and having that support for your team also allows everyone to feel and go that next level. We're not tough enough. It's still not a pure skill on skill game.
Yeah, and I get that, but I also think they have enough of the jam to do it. Like, I don't know. The game against Calgary.
We don't. You keep saying Cassian.
Hyman. Nurse.
Hyman
Nurse
works
isn't a good
hard.
hitter. Okay, so he mixes it up.
Hyman works hard.
Yeah.
That doesn't make him tough.
Do you want Lucic back?
No.
So what do you want? Like, again, they're a
We just need. I just saying we need a little bit more element of toughness. Our toughness. I would say our toughness rating. We're taking a lot of boxes. Our toughness rating isn't where it needs to be to take the big step. And I'm signaling that now.
So I think
and that Calgary game really, I'm watching it, and I was even watching the game against Vancouver. Well, not so Vancouver. It was more so the Calgary game. I kept myself shaking my head. I'm like, we're not tough enough. We're not tough enough. We're not tough enough. We need to be tougher.
Looking at this is in Gregor's GDB now. That's up at OilersNation.com. First two lines, I would say not a lot of toughness per se. Yeah. On the first lines, Hyman though forechecks like an animal. Puljujarvi is gigantic, so nobody's gonna even touch him anyway.
But are you scared playing against Jesse Puljujarvi?
Why do you have to be scared? Why do you want the other team to be scared? I want the other team to lose. I don't give a shit how they feel.
Yeah.
After.
Well, think about how you win. How you win at sport. It's not just so one dimensional like you think it is.
Let's keep working through it. So second line tonight is Nuge, Dry, Yamamoto. I wouldn't say there's any toughness there.
Yeah.
No.
There's no toughness on the first two lines.
Third line.
Hyman's tough.
Because he's not tough. He plays hard. Those are two completely different things.
Fogle, Ryan, Cassian. That's a tough line to play against.
So Cassian's tough. Fogle works hard. I don't know if he's tough. Ryan, very smart.
I think that line could be hard to play against if you're talking about just guys that are in there mucking it up. Fogle, I would say, is Hyman light. Is Fogle. Perlini, Short, Turris on the fourth line. There's not a lot there. I think you could, if you want to insert some toughness, probably somebody there.
And there's nothing on the blue line outside of Darnell Nurse. And you also don't want him to have to jump in because it always have to be the guy to jump in because it might unlock a fight.
I wonder what Dad's got in him. You think he's got some rage in there?
Oh, you know what? He kind of got into a scrum the other day. Like he's starting to really grow on me. Like
I'm looking at him. He's 6'2". That's what he's listed at. 6'2", over 200 pounds. Like he could cause some mayhem if it's in there. We just don't know if it's in there.
Yeah.
I just don't even understand what the argument is. Like, look back at the teams that win Stanley Cups, man. Like, you don't need to have like an enforcer.
So who won the last? When did I say enforcer?
Well, okay, but you're sitting there and I'm listing off the guys that forecheck hard and throw hits on the forecheck.
But you think that's tough? I'm saying the word tough, and you're saying,
so then
this guy can break up a cycle. Well, that's not fucking tough. That's just a guy that works hard and knows how to use a stick in the corner. So I'm not scared of fucking Zach Hyman coming to blow my ass up if I'm making a mistake or I have my head down. It's the players that make you force a play. That's what you fucking need. That opens time and space. That forces them to make mistakes, which creates more offensive opportunities. But it's also those scrums where fucking Rasmus Anderson, who is a fucking puke. Remchuk. He is an absolute fucking puke. And we have no answer to Rasmus Anderson.
I like how you're saying that like I'm going to be offended with the Anderson being
because how the fuck are we going to let Rasmus Anderson fucking dictate who's in charge? That to me was so fucking embarrassing. And if we do not have an answer to that to make Rasmus Anderson not feel like he has the ability and the runway to go and do something like he did to our beloved little yam fry, then we're not fucking tough enough.
Did the Oilers not score on that resulting power play?
I think they did. That's what I'm looking up right now.
That's okay. But it always just comes down to goals. Like I'm talking about the whole cerebral thing. It's mental warfare too, man. It is having those mental deterrents on the ice to force team to make mistakes.
Who are the scary tough guys on the Tampa Bay Lightning?
So I've got the lineup up right now.
Guys that you know you're going to feel it from?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got the lineup up right now.
Coleman, Goudreau, Pat Maroon.
So you're not giving Zach Hyman credit, but you're giving Yanni Gourde toughness credit.
But he's a prick. He's a fucking prick, Tyler. Zach Hyman's the nicest human in the world.
He really is.
And I love him.
But he mixes it up on the ice. The guy can write 12 children's books. He'll still mix it up.
Yeah, but was Rasmus Anderson scared of Zach Hyman? No.
Was Zach Hyman even on the ice?
But so then this opens up. Okay, so because of let's talk about that. Because of who was on the ice, because it was the line with Yamo, there wasn't someone there at that point in time. How come someone is not putting fucking Rasmus Anderson through the boards? Someone's got to shut that guy up, or he's going to keep fucking headbutting Yamo.
I see it. I don't see it like that.
What if that gave Yamo concussion?
then the Oilers still get a power play out of it, and Anderson's probably suspended. Again,
Okay.
So you think now everyone's just going to run around headbutting the Oilers because Anderson got away with
That's
it?
just one thing. But Anderson was visibly and every chance he got, he was being the lead prick. We're not the lead prick. We have Zach Kassian and he's starting to show his old form, and I'm really excited for that. But he's just one guy. I listed off 4 guys on the Stanley Cup winning, back-to-back Stanley Cup winning Tampa Bay Lightning.
Tyler, your rebuttal.
1 second.
I can't believe you think toughness is not required for the playoffs. The game hasn't gotten that soft yet. It still have tough elements.
I'm not you need some element of toughness.
We need more toughness. I'm saying we don't have enough.
Where would you like to see it go, though, I guess?
Like,
I would
it's
say
tough.
the 4th line is probably the most
Sure,
open
yeah.
spot.
If you could swap out Perlini with someone who's tough, do it.
How dare you?
Like, it'd be nice to have like a real, like, there's like a few unicorns out there, but it just more guys that are like what makes Brady Tkachuk so good. The threat that he'll fucking take your head off outside of being super skilled. That's what makes him extremely unique. That guy is not afraid of anyone.
You're so heated about this.
Well, of course, because I care about the fucking Oilers, and if I want them to win the Stanley Cup, they need to get tougher. And this is what it's all about. Being a regular season hero isn't what it's all about.
I don't think either of their 2 first-round exits had anything to do with toughness.
What I would say is I would like to see the Oilers, regardless of bringing in tougher guys per se, is do a better job of standing up for each other.
But you can't let it. So in the same breath,
But like,
can be done.
I'm not looking
room,
for a Steve McIntyre, but trust me, Duncan Keith is going to. The thing I like about Duncan Keith is he's a guy that takes a guy's number down and doesn't fucking forget. Best believe Duncan Keith will get Tyler Myers. I don't know what the fuck he's gonna do, but he's gonna get Tyler Myers. I'm
just thinking more of like a Three Musketeers scenario where if something happens, that no matter who you are, you're like, all right, we're in the pile.
Like you can't like Leon and Connor kind of get in that, but you can't like expect that either. Nor do you really want to. But like those first 2 lines, there's a scrum. Like unless Darnell but if Darnell moves in from the blue line, he forces the face off outside. So he also has to be very careful. So it's just like. Or maybe in a game like that, you move Kassian up to the top 6.
No, I'm not doing that because Kassian's not better than their other top 6 options. I'd rather have Fogle in the top 6 than Kassian. Cassie.
I think Yamo's going to get bumped out if he doesn't pick it up here.
Now.
So
he's
if there's your
scoring tonight.
spot for some...
Yamo's scoring tonight.
I bet on him to score tonight, so I need him to. A little bit of risky business there for you.
Yeah, nice. So we need to be tougher. We can't let the shitty Calgary Flames push us around.
We won the game 5-2.
That's
the Flames are going to miss the fucking playoffs. They can be as tough as they want. They'll be on the golf course while the Oilers are hopefully going to the second round.
Just
if you're listening to this right now,
go fucking do research on every fucking team that's won the Stanley Cup and show me where a pure skill team won the Stanley Cup.
Can you write an article about this?
Back-to-back years.
Oh my God.
Who was scary on Pittsburgh? Who spooked you?
Who spooked me?
Yeah.
I'll have to go and look through the roster.
Okay, even Tampa Bay, like you said, Yanni Gord.
They could they fucking wear you down or something. But
so I'm just looking at Pam's last.
But now, and I say wear you down, and you're like, no, wearing you down is not the same as toughness.
But I gotta see there's clearly there has to be some of that element.
And I think they have.
Or they had really good hitters or something. Like the thing is, like when no one's going around. Like I said, you think I'm saying going around and picking fights? I'm saying going around and blowing guys up because I'll always talk to that game 2 years ago when Zach Kassian on the opening shift blew up Nate McKinnon and set the fucking path for the Oilers to win that game.
So Zach Kassian's your guy. Zach Hyman can lay a body check. Duncan Keith is tough as nails along the boards. He's a prick. He'll put a stick in the back of your leg.
Okay, so
I think there's enough there.
I want to know if you're listening to this right now. Real Life Podcast.
There's not enough
Nation
there.
Real Life on Twitter and Instagram. Hit us up.
There's not enough there.
Are the Oilers tough enough? Do they need Yanni Gord or other gourds like a pumpkin?
Or maybe a spaghetti squash.
Yeah, that's nice.
Before we keep going on here, need to give some love to our friends at DoorDash. Promo code RealLifeDD gets you 25% off, no delivery fee on your first order. Or if you have ordered before, get some Oodle Noodle in ya. Oodle 2021 gets you $7 off your order of $30 or more when you get Oodle Noodle on DoorDash. Also, shout out twigandberries.ca. They got some great stuff. I've said it before. End of summer sale. Also, promo code there, Nation15. I forgot that there's a group of electricians coming in here. So this is going to have to be a quick episode of the Real Life Podcast.
Really? What are they
How
doing
soon?
Couple minutes.
Oh.
What?
Should we
Well-
bring them in as guests on the podcast to see if they think the team is tough enough?
Or I could just let them in and we can keep recording.
I'd be curious if the electricians
can
think
pull
the
that
team
off.
is tough enough.
All right. We're just going to keep rolling through then. Mid-maintenance pod.
Mid-maintenance pod.
Okay,
There
so
are
we're fighting.
people in here adjusting furnaces.
Yep.
There's lights going on. Flashlights.
Foam being installed.
Yep. Foam being installed. Fell off.
Yeah, fell off.
We need to upgrade the tape or the glue or whatever it
We have
is.
to upgrade from maybe tape to glue.
Caulk.
That's what you call it?
Is that how you really say it?
I just really wanted to emphasize that L.
Yes, caulk.
Yes, caulk.
Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah.
That sounds right to me. Anyways,
While we were cut there for a
we
couple of
cut for a
seconds.
few minutes.
The thing that I liked is that Tyler was trying to find a key for the furnace room in which the electricians are working currently. Meanwhile, Jay was rooting through the Penguins rosters from their Stanley Cup seasons to find their toughness, which I very much enjoyed. You two going back and forth has been very fun for me.
Well, it's good to have a heated, spirited conversation.
Yeah. So while we were cut, Jay said the Penguins had Tom Sestito, and he didn't play a single playoff game.
Yeah. No, I said it as like they actually had a meathead on their team. Like that was the point of
On
me
their
saying
roster,
Tom Sestito.
not so much on their team per se.
Well, he would have played in the regular season.
Oh yeah, sorry, 17 games combined between 2 seasons.
Yeah, he was. Well, I'm just saying.
Tom Sestito is tough, though.
They
Yes.
were willing to go that far, but they did have their tough guys that you would have to be worried about in terms of, like I said, I'm not saying fighting. I'm just saying physical threats. Rafi Torres, you had to have your head on a swivel when Rafi Torres was on the ice.
But and like they have Zach Cassian. Like again, he covers that base for them. They have.
I do wish Warren
it's-
Fogle would hit more.
But
maybe
it's-
he has,
maybe he
but like I
will.
just don't. We haven't seen it yet because he's a big.
Yeah,
dude.
we'll see. I hear he works hard, but I just don't
He's
know.
Hyman-like to me.
Yeah, if you hard work, that's good to a point. But when you get into games like you do against Calgary, you want to be able to
take the power plays and beat them 5-2.
you want to be able to stand up and show up and let them know you can't be pushed around, because those can have impacts on games.
Because if you want to push them around, we'll take the power plays and beat you 5-2.
There's a lot of nice tension in the room right now.
There
So,
it is.
like,
I know it's hilarious.
We should beat the Flames.
Yep.
Yeah, so like, who fucking cares? It's a non-event to use that as a. Let's play a good team that's tough and see how.
Where
we
I
fare.
will agree with Jay, Tyler, is that without those guys on your roster, the other team, if they're down 5-2 like Calgary was, that's just, it opens the door to take a shot at Connor and Leon because those guys are there on the roster.
See, and I just don't think that stuff really happens anymore, like, or too much in today's NHL. And you have a few deterrents, like Darnell Nurse will
Can we
drop
get Tim
the gloves.
Peel on here?
But
We'll
it's
ask him.
but once again, it's not about fighting. It's about forcing mistakes, and forcing mistakes with gargantuan hits, because Zach Cassian and hopefully 2 others that we have on our hockey team
Because like I'm
are going to
thinking
be
about
on
the
the
bottom
ice,
6
and you
now.
need to know that.
We sit the top 6. There's not a lot there in terms of like a tough guy, quote unquote. And in the bottom 6, you got Zach Cassian, lost Jujar. You know the hammer was going to swing if he needed to.
You knew the Hammer was going to swing once again. Hammer not a good hitter. He wasn't a good hitter either.
His boots just weren't there really.
You can skate.
He's not a good hitter. He
he's
just
that
kind of
physical,
like
though.
smothers guys, and that's kind of the game Nurse plays too. And like I don't care if he's not a Nurse. He's so good at everything else, and he is tough. Like you have to be scared of like not going too far, because Nurse will jump in and go crazy,
Yeah, he'll
and
beat
you
the
don't
brakes
want
off
that.
you.
And that is a bit of a deterrent. But I'm saying just more physicality.
You don't think they're physical enough?
We're not physical enough.
I think they need a good puck-moving defenseman on the left side before the deadline. I think that needs to be priority numero uno.
That's an evergreen
Speaking a lot
tweet,
of
though, isn't
Spanish
it?
on this episode.
Looking at the game against the Ducks here, Jay, for you. 29 hits for the Ducks, 22 for the Oilers. Do you care? I don't know.
The hit
I'm just reading the
counters.
stats.
The shot count is what scares me in that game.
The shot count has really just
Ooh.
been scary over the first 3, in my opinion.
Yeah.
They give up way too many shots. I know a lot of them came from the outside, especially against Calgary, but like still, 50 shots against the Flames is too many.
Our friend Nico Jolly says he's downstairs with a gift for me. Should I go get it?
Oh,
might
I
do it
actually sat down with him for lunch. There was him.
Yeah, they
Dangerous
were all
Wade, Alan Kramer,
Dangerous Wade.
Dangerous Wade, and Brad Stepanko.
I did see them as well. I went and I talked to them for 2 minutes, and then Jared said, "Hey, we got to talk upstairs." So then I got away from the table, and then I never went
Quite
back.
the crew that showed up
It's a
today.
hell of a crew.
Yeah, it's a good lunch crew. Yeah, good game day lunch crew at Dog Patch.
All right, I'm gonna go run and get this thing. Do you have to go right away, anyways? Do we have to wrap this up?
I don't know, Bagwell. Do you want to talk for 5 minutes?
I've always got 5 minutes. Tyler's running downstairs to
Shocker,
get his
he's
gift.
skipping work so he can get a gift. It doesn't get more selfish than that, folks.
He really doesn't. First of all, he's poo-pooing on your need for toughness.
Well, the thing about Yaremchuk is he's young. And he comes from a different, we're from two different times and eras of hockey. And
Yeah.
that'll
He did
always
watch
show.
90s NHL.
And that'll always be, him and I will always disagree in that regard. Because I came up a little more old school and he's new school.
Yeah, and to your point, the Oilers don't have a guy like a Tom Wilson on the roster where he's got the skill, but he will light you up.
Yeah, like and there's only a
He's a
handful
little bit of a freak.
there's only a handful of those types of guys, but like they're game breakers in their own right.
Mm-hmm.
And like I would love to go through some other rosters and pull out some other guys like that have that are Tom Wilson lights.
I'm looking at the Oilers roster, though, and it's almost like we need to lock some of these guys in a cage and poke them with a stick or something because they've got some size on the roster this year.
We do.
Warren Fogle, 6'2". Puljujarvi, 6'4", but he's a big puppy dog. You know
He's
what
a big puppy dog. He's not. You can't say he's a physical threat at all. He's willing to put his body into things, get the booty Harvey filed up, and put himself into areas and piss guys off with like how he works. His corner work and stuff. He'll piss guys off, but like we see it. Like if there's a scrum, like he's shitting his pants. But that's
no
okay.
way. Look at this. Tyler's come back up. He's got a real life podcast, Avoid the Grind 1-of-1 hoodie from Nico
Oh
John.
my God, this makes so much sense. He avoided the grind to go get it.
How sick is this?
That is super
that's
good.
cool. Okay, we got our first piece of real life podcast merch.
This is so cool.
Yeah.
I'm going to post a photo, if I'm allowed to post Nico's face online. I'll get his permission, but I'm going to post this. It is unbelievable.
That's a cool hoodie. Well,
Sick.
Nico's also doing some work for us and helping out with some graphics and some social content. He's a graphic designer by trade. So to have him come up with the Avoid the Grind hoodie and give it to Tyler, the worst part about it to me is that I didn't get one also.
Yeah, yes.
I feel like I've been living this lifestyle my entire life, and Tyler has just adopted it recently.
So cool. I'm so happy.
We should have some real life gear, though, I think, now that I'm looking at this. We probably sell one to Surveyor Brett.
Too.
Man, he went all out.
Yeah, he went all out. This is so cool from Nico.
Yeah. Thank you,
man.
Nico. You're the best. And you make some really funny shit, sir.
Yeah, it's great. I'm going to post this on Instagram.
Tyler's just fully distracted.
Oh, I'm so distracted.
Fully distracted. Okay, so where should we end things off here, Bag Milk? Is there anything real life we should discuss?
Yeah, we're looking for a new producer for the Real Life podcast, one that actually wants to stick with us throughout the hour.
Who wants to embrace the grind?
I'm also the only one who consistently shows up for every episode. I'll bag milk as well.
How dare
I'm
you?
pretty good.
Yeah, you're in
How
Nashville.
dare you?
My travel schedule sometimes get in the way, but I always still like to try to pop in.
Episode
good.
323, I've been probably on 200 and some of these.
Good point.
Thank you.
I'm not as many as Bagwell, but I'm pretty. I like to think I put the work in. I'll tell you one thing though. There's a lot going on in my personal life. Well, I shouldn't say personal life. My work life. HJ has helped me out with it. Thank you, HJ. But I had to work way more than I wanted to on this trip. I spent about 4, maybe 5 hours in back alleys on Broadway behind bars and restaurants that I was at so I could do 30, 45, 60-minute calls.
Were some of these calls with like kind of one eye open, considering you're on a football trip with the boys?
I knew they were coming, so I was always until they were done. Is when I waited to kind of start getting after it. That's why at the football game I was on the phone all day after that. We went to Topgolf. I was on the phone we were there for 2 hours. I was on the phone for 70 minutes of our 2 hours there. And whatever. I sound like I'm venting, but. I that's why I came at you guys with aggressive beers per quarter at the game because I had to play some serious catch up.
Yeah, you got to play catch up. There was no minding the pitch count is what I noticed with that BPQ.
No, and it's you know what, sometimes it's nice to not play with a pitch count, just feel free.
Yeah.
I know I've paid the price the next day for it, but you know what, sometimes it's nice. And I'll tell you one thing about Nashville. Tootsie's is just a great. Well, there's so many good honky tonks, but Tootsie's just has some really good musical talent that
I
follows.
just really hope that this nation vacation to Nashville is going to work. So
Yeah.
that's in April, because we were supposed to be in Vegas tomorrow.
No,
Or
we're
right
going to go in
now.
November.
Oh, it was in November?
Yeah, the reason why there's some crazy conference that made it so expensive to go right now. And I know someone who went down, he's like, oh my God. He's like, you wouldn't believe the hotel prices right now. I'm like,
Oh.
yeah, we were warned about that. But I'll tell you one thing. Nation vacation, Nashville, April 14th. We got to work out the dates because the flying
It's
there is
right
kind
after
of
my
weird.
birthday. It's perfect.
We have secured 70 tickets to the game. That's the first step. Now we got to figure out how we're going to get there.
Charter.
So chartering, I've been saying everyone we're going to charter, and if I'm keeping it 100, I can't charge. I can't charge everyone what they need to be charged
This
for
trip
the
is
charter.
10 grand.
It is too expensive because here's our charger. Here's some fun facts. Here's Charto 101 for you. When you're dealing with a like an airline company, you have to pay for the flight that the people go on to go there. Then you have to pay for the flight to leave so the plane can go back into service for the day. So you have to pay for 2 flights each way. So it's 4 flights.
Yeah.
So the economics of a charter are not there. And that's what I thought the point of that was A, provide a super cool experience by flying direct. And secondly, charter and get a good deal. Not the case. So we're working with a few airline partners here to see how we'll get there. I think we found a hotel. There's a newer hotel. The other thing about Nashville hotels are expensive, but we think we found one with a very, very reasonable rate. So we're gonna get that locked in. That's good. So once we get the flights, I think we'll launch closer to like November and like kind of tie it in as like around Christmas
gift.
and stuff.
Yeah.
No better gift than a nation vacation.
Never.
I've been on a few. Little
been on
biased.
most.
We have a great time.
Best
There's some
time.
good podcast content that comes out
Great
of it too.
podcast content.
And we'll level up on the video side of it, but it's a good time. And trust me, Nashville will deliver. The only itinerary we have to organize is Nashville and the game. It just handles itself.
If you have never been on a nation vacation, it's just also super cool meeting people you've probably spoken to on the internet 1,000 times, but have never met in real life.
Yeah.
So that lunch that took place downstairs today, those are all people that met on a nation vacation.
Yeah,
That's
cool.
how they met.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
And,
We're bringing
and that's
people
super
together.
cool. That's super cool when you see that.
All right. There are people I promised access to this studio to make it better. So we got to wrap this up. Shout out to the HGA Group, DoorDash, and Twig and Berries. Shout out to Nico Jolly for my sweet new hoodie that I love
I'm
very
so
much.
pissed.
It should
Not
be.
pissed. Jealous.
Yeah.
Hurt.
That's it
Yeah,
for episode
offended.
323 of the Real Life Podcast. Enjoy your weekend, everybody.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Real Life Podcast. Don't want to miss any of our nonsense? Hit the subscribe button and give us a follow on Twitter and Instagram.